One day I was relaxing and playing my space hopper game like a normal human when I realized I'm not a normal human. I'm a game developer. In fact, I've been one for many years. So today I found my old Scratch game and I'm gonna attempt to recreate it. The first thing I need is sprite textures, and last video I efficiently stole mine from Open Games Art. But no, what if I went even further? And so I decided to create my own sprites, despite having very little pixel art experience. Up first, I designed the main character, and surprisingly, the design turns out really good. It looks clean and the shadows are matching. I was impressed. Which in hindsight was the problem, as it gave me confidence. Then came the background, and all I wanted is an enclosed room that looks good. So, how did that go? I chose this blue color for the room, and I gave each surface a distinctive shade. I wanted to leave it off there, but it was looking like I paid someone $1 to make it. So I keep going. Pixel after pixel after pixel. I'm having fun. I'm definitely having fun. An hour passes by, and my efforts of creating a decent background left me with this. Maybe plagiarism is the way to go. Okay, maybe it's not the best, but who's gonna notice? Surely nobody, right? Anyways, it was time to start scripting and think about what I've committed against the art community. Fortunately, Godot provides us with a pre-typed character controller, and I even opted to add an extra code to make the character face the direction they're walking. Looking back, it worked out pretty smoothly. I sure hope the rest of the project would go like that. Or will it? Either way, I figure it's time to get the bullets in check. In the original game, the gun rotates depending on the player's cursor, but perhaps I could switch it up. Therefore, I decided to make the bullets move parallel to the player's direction. Why am I doing this? I mean, honestly, it just sounded easier to accomplish. And after 1/24th of a day spent on drawing like 20 pixels and scripting a simple movement, I was left with a normal bullet system. And to compensate for my laziness earlier, I didn't include a way to spam proof it. Okay, maybe that was also a lazy decision, but it keeps the kids happy, so it's a feature. The next features, however, are quite chaotic. You see, having a bullet system is fun, but it's only useful when there's a target to shoot. The only solution to that is our main enemy, the zombies, a fierce horde of undead beasts that's totally unique and never been used in other games. I begin by reusing the player's model, but giving it a green sick look, but after adding it to the game, that's where my brain cells said adios. All I needed was the zombies to walk towards the player, and it is such a simple thing, but this is my first time trying to pathfind in Godot. My initial plan was to use this navigation agent node, but when I copied this dude's script, it didn't work. I tried for hours to get it fixed, and I even worked on it in the middle of class, and I still struggled. I thought this would be the part I give up, but when all hope was lost, I had an idea to solve my worries. Arithmetic. The player and zombie's position is determined by a vector. This meant that to find out the direction to the player, we can subtract the two vectors to ensure we have a successful value. It all looks like a heap of confusing math on paper, but when I typed it out, it was like 4 lines of code. And in the end, it worked flawlessly. I didn't need the navigation agent, I needed brain power. And by linking up the zombie's hitbox to the bullet's collision and implementing a health system, I'm happy to say that I created a fully functioning zombie, which is probably the coolest thing I've done on this platform. Or so I thought. Wait, I can apply a color tint to the zombie? Oh my god, look, he has green clothes now! With that finished, and a heart fueled with competence, I knew I was ready to continue. I looked at the characters, and I thought, what if I took them even further? So that is when I began animating. Again, this is my first time animating on Godot, but compared to pathfinding, this feature isn't relevant to maths. Yikes. I started copying hand to hand with the sprites I made 3 years ago, and once I had all sprites done, I attempted to learn the process on animating sprites, which I need an adult. At first glance, it looks like I'd hacked into Godot software, which is what I wish happened, but after looking at a tutorial and having my dreams crushed, I added all the frames and created this neat walk animation. And I even copied them over to the zombies, as well as giving them this attack animation. Just remember that zombies are enemies, not friends. I was satisfied, and I thought now it was time to wrap up the zombies, but there's more than one type that's destined to end your life. Why did I do this to myself? In the original game, I had included 2 variations of the default zombie. There's the tank, who traded speed for endurance, and there's the speedy one, who is weird. Like, why does the building just cough up an enemy? To be unique, you may as well give him pink nails and lipstick at that point. Yes, I'm insulting myself by saying that. Thankfully, I could just use the already made character model for that design. If I had a nickel for every time I did that in this video, I'd have 2 nickels. This took a long time and I was really tired, but I knew I had to continue to get the system completed. And after adding in the characters and giving each distinctive health and speed values, I am relieved to say that both zombies are implemented. The tank zombies act as a brick wall, while the speedy zombies test the player's reaction time, and thankfully they don't spawn from the sky. At this point, the core mechanics have been completed, but playing just feels like pure slavery. So I figure it's time to add in a bunch of progression features, which I'll summarize. So here we go. Lightning round. I decided to add in a wave system which will spawn a certain amount of zombies per wave, as decided by this line of code. I tried to balance the player, but at its current state, it was a miserable task. So I rethought my lazy decisions, and I let the gun shoot depending on which mouse button the player presses. Killing a zombie now rewards you with points, and for every 50 points you get, you can upgrade your gun's reload speed. However, it is capped to only 5 upgrades, which is a good thing as it prevents the player from turning a pistol into a machine gun. The player has this health bar, which when attacked will decrease, and when it drops to 0, the game is over. You can press this replay button and continue, just to die again. Quick side note, while editing this video, I've also added in mobile compatibility. All you have to do is just toggle the switch. Whew! Okay, we're almost done. But now it's time for Sound Cinema. Wait, but doesn't cinema start with an S? I go on over to my best friend JSFXR, and I come up with these sound effects. I know it's not as good as last videos, but it's all I've got. Also, wait, is this technically stealing? Am I gonna get copyrighted? Either way, I hook up the sounds to the designated events, and just like that, it's done. That is the story of how I've recreated my old Scratch game in Godot. If you want to enjoy what I suffered through, you can play the game in itch.io, and if you want to see the original Scratch game, link in the pinned comments. Alright, goodbye, I'll see you when I take over Godot.